I assume you put yourself on tape for Divergent. Give me a sense. Was there an audition? What happened?
Yeah, there was an audition. The audition was, it was, like I said, me in my stairwell, and I auditioned for 4. And I think that actually what I did is I made a few takes with my friend from high school, who's also an actor, and we always make our tapes together. Every tape I've ever done, he makes for me. And we did a few takes, and it wasn't really working. It was okay, whatever. And then I think he was the one who was like, yo, you should take a knife and hold it when you're giving the speech. So I took a big kitchen knife, like a big one, and I had the kitchen knife, and I was like holding it and talking to them and like playing with it and like giving them the speech as 4. So then I sent in the 4 tape. I wasn't right for 4. That's totally cool. I'm glad I got to play Caleb. Caleb was like, to be honest, a character that I'm glad now looking back that I got to play Caleb because he's a really interesting guy and not the character that initially they typecast me as 4.
Right.
Because I'm like the tall, like strapping young lad.
Exactly.
But I think it's cool that I got to play someone who's a little more like maybe messed up in the head, or you know.
So seeing what Theo did on set with 4, were you always sort of like, well, I would have done it this way?
No, never. In fact, the first day that we did the table read, and this might have been awkward, but I think we were in the bathroom, like both like standing at 2 urinals, and maybe like, and I looked over and I was like, dude, you're like crushing it. Even at the table read, he's like, thanks, mate. And I was like, I couldn't get that quiet intensity, man. It's like, so you're perfect, man.
Right.
You know, I think Miles auditioned for 4 too, and like pretty much all of us. Maybe that's just how they saw people, and but yeah, Theo, I don't think you could have gotten a better 4. He's so good looking. He's so like scary at the same time, which is weird.
Right. Because
you don't usually get that, and he has like this really quiet, intense way of like being this scary guy.
Totally.
Instead of being like, oh, I'm 4.
Right. Different way to go.
He's just kind of like, yeah. Which is awesome.
The quiet intensity.
Yeah.
Of 4. So when they, like, what happened? Did they say this part might work for you, and then did you read again, or like how did it evolve into where you ended up playing Caleb?
I think I read again for 4 with Neil Berger, the director. But then and there, I think then right away he was like, I did like 1 take of each scene. He was like, thanks. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't get it. Whatever. Yeah. That's too bad. And then they, like maybe a month or so later, maybe less, but they called me back and they were like, we want you to read for Caleb. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I read for Caleb. And then I went, they had auditions in LA too. Yeah. And I flew myself out. I think my agent told me. She was like, you need to get your ass out there and get this role. This is a big one. Yeah, this is important. And at that point I was desperate because I hadn't booked a role for like 7 months or longer because, you know, I'd finished Carrie like 7 months before that. So I was like, I flew my ass out to LA and I got it. And